Welcome to the forum, webinar forum organized by IEEE, PES, Women in Power, and also Women Engineering Malaysia. Before we proceed, I would like to just take one to 2 minutes to introduce what is IEEE, PES, Women in Power. It is actually an initiative from Power Energy Society to have a group of women in power to organize activities for women in power industries. And then for women in engineering, it is actually also IEEE membership. But however, today we will not talk about anything related to power industries. We are talking about something that is, I think, affecting all of us now, which is just over the COVID-19 pandemic. So we are very lucky today. We have three experienced speakers. So what we're going to do today is we will have presentation from each speaker for about 20 minutes each, and then we will open to the participants for discussion. So just want to say hi to the speakers. We have there Dr. Noliza. Dr. Noliza, can you just say hi to everybody?
Hello, Sanka.
Okay. And then we have Prof. Hawa. Hi.
Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon.
Okay. And we have Dr. Chua. Hello, Dr. Chua.
Now can you hear me?
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Okay, so the first speaker that we have is Professor Dr. Noliza. So I just briefly read her biography. Her CV is very, very long, so I just want to introduce her as currently a professor in UTM Razak Faculty of Technology and Informatics, University Technology Malaysia. And her interest is in biomedical and also image processing, image analysis. All right. And in terms of senior member of IEEE, which is she's already senior member from 2008 and has been a member for more than 32 years. Very experienced IEEE member, and currently also the Region 10 Director-elect for 2021-2022 candidate. Okay, so she also has hold many IEEE positions, including IEEE Malaysia Chair and also at the MGA level. So without further ado, I would like to pass to Dr. Noliza for your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Let me show my slide, yeah? You all can see my slide?
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, thank you very much for the warm introduction for me. All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone settled down and already embraced the new norms. My talk today is given by Council is about the inclusiveness for entering right? Okay. So my name is Noliza Muhammad Noor. I'm from the Razak Faculty of Technology and Informatics, which is located in the University of Technology Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur campus. So I'm in the Jalan Semara, or the new name now is Jalan Sultan Yahya Petra. Right, so those who knows Jalan Geni or Jalan Semara, so that's where I've been located for the past over 30 years already. A little bit about myself, just to brief you, I was that one, if I'm not mistaken, in 2008. So chair, I'm also the chair for the IEEE section 2013, 2014, and after that I hold various positions in the Region 10 and also in the MJA. And also I'm quite active now on the IEEE HAC. For those who know, HAC is the Humanitarian Activity Committee. So and then myself and a few lecturers, also IEEE members from Razak faculty. So we made a group, my side, SIGHT, Special Interest Group on the Humanitarian Technology. So the name is My Rural for Technologies. My site for Rural Tech. rural technology. So that is our group. So in 2018, we were awarded the HSC project. Was about slightly over 1,000 USD. So it's about almost 30,000 Malaysian ringgit. So that is for 1 year project. Decision to form the group for the side group. So it may come to my view lah, right, to evaluate. And for now, I'm also the R10 Director Elect Candidate for 2021 and 2022. So the election will be coming very soon in August, 15 August until 1st October. Right? Okay, so I hope everyone please exercise your vote, your right to vote, because normally the voting, we do not manage to get a very high percentage of the voting turnout, so it's quite low. All right, so let's get started on my talk today. So just to recap, where were we before COVID-19? So every nothing is lost in the COVID-19 pandemic. We forget where were we before this. So what were we were doing before this, and where is it? The research or the were heading before the COVID-19. It's as if like this COVID-19 put a stop to everything that we did, and suddenly we have to stay at home. We have to do. We cannot just go out shopping anytime that we want, things like that. And so even that also we have to be prepared to go out with a face mask, with a hand sanitizer, with glove and so on. Right. So where were we before? Before this COVID-19 came. Right. So if everybody remember, we were hot on the Industry 4.0, which is the digital technology transformation. All right. In the academic world, we are hot about it. We put in our lectures, things like that. But where are they in the real world? Then Industry 4.0 refers to a new phase in the industrial revolution that focuses heavily on the interconnectivity, automation, machine learning, and the real-time data. All right, so this is to recap the revolution of the industry. So suddenly 4.0, somebody will wake up one day or will ask, what was the 1.0, 2.0, things like that. All right. So I myself, when they come with the Industry 4.0, I will say, why suddenly 4, not 10 or something like that. Okay. So roughly this is what in the Industry 1.0, it is a long time ago, which is maybe 100 years back. So, or slightly more than 100 years back. So it's the mechanism, steam power, weaving, loom. So that is the basic needs. Then come the Industry 2.0 where the mass production started. So we have the assembly line and the electrical energy. Then we have the Industry 3.0 where we started to have the automation and the computers and the electronics. So this is the year, the period where the computers and electronics rose. Then came along the Industry 4.0, right? So you remember last time when the computers rules, meaning that every 6 months we have new upgrade. Like say starting from the if anybody remember the Intel 286, then they come up 386 system, 486 system, right? Then after that should be 586, but they don't want to call the 586, so they call it Pentium 1, then Pentium 2, Pentium 3, Pentium 4, right? Then after that, no more Pentium, right? So then now we have all kinds, So after the day lah. Then next we have Industry 4.0. So this is the cyber physical system, Internet of Things and networks. So this a lot in the academic world is a lot, but how is it in the reality? How fast it was being installed or implemented? All right. So Industry 4.0 framework is the digital technologies, right? So we have this cloud computing, yes, ever ready. Then we have the augmented reality, now limited to games only. That is most popular, but even that is not within reach by normal people. Not within reach because it's maybe expensive. Then we have the 3D printing also, as it's not within reach for everyone, but it does come along. But the machine, the printers, the consumables are quite expensive. Right. So, but they try to popularize it. Then, of course, we have this big data analytics. Yes, this is the in thing. Then we have the advanced robotics. Yeah, even that also this not everyone is doing it. All right, and then we have the smart sensor. The sensors are there, but how to make it smart? Is it being put there, located to everywhere? Yeah. Then we have the Internet of Things. Yes. Then with the 5G starting, the thing, the advancement, whether people embrace the 5G or not, that's so it's a secondary problem. Yeah? And of course, the location detection. All right. Then next we have what we call it the Digital Society 5.0. This is based from the World Economic Forum, initiated by the Japan, right? Japanese. So I think in Malaysia we are more concentrated on the Industry 4.0. We are forgetting about this Digital Society 5.0, right? Not because not many people are talking about it, right? So what is Society 5.0? This is the Imagination Society. Right, so Ken Darren, which is the Japan Business Federation, has redefined Society 5.0 as the imagination society where people will be expected to exercise rich imaginations to identify a variety of needs and challenges scattered across society and the scenarios to solve them, as well as creativity to realize such solutions by using digital technologies and data. Right? So Society 5.0 will be an imagination society where digital transformation combines with the creativity of diverse people to bring about problem solving and value creation that led us to sustainable development. Development. It is a concept that can contribute to the achievement of the sustainable development goals adopted by the United Nations. So this is the definition of the imagination society or society 5.0, right? So Japan lead the way, right? So how far? So now we look back the revolution of the society alongside the industry revolution, right? So first is the society 1.0, which is the hunting society, or the emergence of the human beings. Then they and then which is correlate to the first industrial revolution, like industry. Then the Society 2.0, which is the Farmers Agrarian Society, and then Society 3.0, Industrial Society. So this is at the end of 18th century. Okay, so in between, is in between the second industrial revolution and the third industrial revolution, right? And then end of the 20th century, there is the Society 4.0, which is the information society. Yes, so we live within this era, all right? So whereby we have vast information and how we gather and delve about it, right? And then that is the starting point of the fourth industrial revolution, which is the digital transformation, whereby, AI, IoT, blockchain is there. So then next come to the 21st century, Society 5.0. So what is it? Actually, right? So the entering society 5.0, so we already have around us, right? The IoT, the big data, and the AI is there. Then how we use it as a solution to better human life. So that is meaning that we need to use our imagination and how to use it to make our life better or to have a better human life. Yeah? And then, so here is the realizing society. All right, so this is I found the graphics is quite good. Right, so whereby the IoT, big data, AI, robots, surround us, meaning live is around us. So meaning that we have the autonomous vehicle, we have the high tech medical, right? And then we have high tech farming, things like that. And also we can due to that, we have enough for everybody. Very good as to achieve the the sustainable goals, meaning that it's enough for everybody with very good clean environment and things like that, right? So that we can have more time to enjoy our life. Right? Okay, we have more time with the what do you call it, quality life, all right, with the families and also with for our aging community or aging society. Okay, so next, so this is the society 5.0. So for the optimization of the individual lives and society as a whole. So where we have a lot of tech, right? HR tech, home tech, sports tech, biotech, fintech, food tech, care tech, civic tech, frontier tech, legal tech, and so on and on and on. Ed tech, education, manufacturing technology, agriculture technology, and so on. So that is the society 5.0, meaning that we fully use or optimize the usage of the technology and also the digital technology to betterment the human life. All right, then suddenly came the COVID-19, the pandemic 19, 2020. It took us by a totally sudden, because we thought like SARS or MERS, just what do you call it, isolated, meaning that SARS, like the MERS from the Middle Eastern, and then those who got it, yeah, they got it, but then it doesn't spread easily. Because it doesn't spread easily, because those who have the symptoms, it can be easily seen, meaning the virus is only being carried by those who have the symptoms. So you isolate the person, so the virus doesn't spread, right? But COVID-19 is totally different. It can be easily spread without symptoms. So that is the danger part. So we do not know. So therefore, that's why the disadvantage is people not going out, stay at home, right? For 3 months, and in Malaysia we were stay at home, right? Barely to only to go out to buy the necessities, like the groceries and so on. Even that is only one person. Then no more handshakes, hugs, etc. So we have to practice social distancing, which is quite hard. So therefore, it takes time to learn and practice this one. And then we always have to wear mask, hand sanitizer, always protect oneself. And so when we are walking or we are going out, we have to see who's standing beside us. Is the person sneezing or coughing or something like that, and how far is he standing beside me? Right. So I'm always I myself did that, and especially maybe queuing is okay, no problem. But the thing is, normally when people like to pay at the cashier or to go to the counter, they tend to get close together, right? Right. So therefore, we have to be alert of our surroundings. So what about the industry 4.0 and the society 5.0? What happened? Suddenly, humans are very creative. So when we got stuck or we got what they call it, we've been suppressed, so the outcome, and the human brain started to think how to solve, how to do this, how to do that, things like that. Meaning that when you're being constrained, then their brains will start working. Oh, I cannot do this, I cannot do. Then how can I do? What can I do? So this is when it's accelerated the industry 4.0 and accelerated society 5.0, because previously we have, but then the embrace or the adaptation is quite slow, right? Hence, so actually the COVID-19 pandemic uh, uh, is a disguise, actually, meaning that we have, because of this COVID-19, our industry 4.0 and society 5.0 move quite rapidly. All right. So hence, therefore, because especially in terms of the healthcare, right? Suddenly we have the aging population. Right? We know, we calculate how many people in our household who are over 60 or above 65, things like that, right? So we know when we cannot go to that. They will, if they got the virus, they will the first one to be severely infected. So hence the medical and then suddenly we know about this, how much does it cost for this, for that, and of course there's social security expenses. So all right, so and the solution here to connect and share information between medical data users, including medical checkups and records, as well as treatments and nursing care records. So this is like my research area, which is on the lung disease. So suddenly, people, because China was the one infected first from Wuhan. When I want to do research on that, wow, they already got all the ethics approval are very fast, and then they share already some of their medical records, right? The X-rays, the CT scans, and so on. So which is quite impossible to do last time. So now sharing all this information, and then I'm also trying to get a collaboration from the Malaysian hospital. Right, so I talked to a few. Then finally, I'm just recently I managed to get in touch with the correct person, and then she said, "Oh, if you contact me in April or in March, April or earlier, all the approval, the ethics is being expedited because they want to solve this. So meaning that it's fast. So the data sharing is very, very fast. So they allow, because previously it was almost like almost impossible. Right? So now we have many public database. Some already put up. So therefore, this data sharing is information on this COVID-19, on the X-rays or on the CT scans, very fast. Then of course usage of AI and robots in the hospital also is enhanced. Then mobility, okay, because of the public transportation, so and plus we try to avoid the public transportation, so hence the taxis, e-hailing and taxis are in demand. And of course, what we want is autonomous driving taxis and buses for public transportation. Why? Because we don't want to get infected from the driver, all right? So this is also in demand. Then infrastructure, sensors, AI, robots will be used to inspect, maintain bridges, tunnels, and dams, and so on. All right, and then of course, finance tech or the fintech uses blockchain technology for money transfer, cashless society, and so on. Because we don't want the virus to be transferred through the dollar notes, right, or coins. So we don't want. Now it's all cashless. So like myself, I do not quite like to use the PayWave for my credit card. Now I've been using it almost, so almost regularly. So because I don't want to touch the machine and so on, just you wave or you just tap it on it, then it's done, settled. Okay, so meaning that it's also accelerated for myself also. All right, so now during COVID-19, new inventions, new innovative inventions comes along. So we have the popular robot Machikia 19. So this is developed by the TM and also the F Automation and Robotics. So this is to provide food. It's a robot, as a moving robot that can provide food, or it can provide whatever without any human intervention, right? So this is one. Then we have the Pak Saleh, which is the spray disinfection robot, also developed by the same company and UTM. So instead of people going and spray and things like that, so you just send out the robot, right, to do the job, right? And then this is from my group, which is the IEEE My Site for rural tech. This is happened when we got a request. One of the group whose wife is a medical doctor working in one of the district clinic. So they are about to do what they call it, the massive screening for the local that community. So she wanted say, I want a hands-free, a hand sanitizer or foot press. So so immediately one day, one of our group, the member came out with this one, which is the first prototype model. And then this one was given to that clinic, being used, but somehow because it's plastic and so on, flimsy, after a while broke. So then a few days after that, the person, or technical guy, bought this one, which is more sturdy, and then it's more protected. So you can just exchange. It will fit in any types of bottles. We have different sizes. So this is already being done and being distributed to most of the smaller hospital that requested them. So we send two each for each district hospital and a few places. All right, and after this, then came along the third prototype, which is the automatic hand sanitizer. So this still in the lab. It's not being deployed anywhere yet. All right, okay. Okay, so next is the intubation box and face shield. This is also by the MG UTM. So using the 3D printing, so they quickly comes. I think MGIIT UTM is not the only one. We have UTSM. I read in the Facebook and so on. Yeah, so a few places have done this. So it's quite popular. And also meeting the what do you call it demand for this the intubation facilities requested by the hospital. Can you the host can you mute the person please? All right, thank you very much.
ถามทีว่าใช้เวลาอีกสักเท่าไหร่ฉันจะได้กลับ
Okay, so this is the intubation box request by the hospital Sungai Buloh. All right, so this is our prototype, design and so on. Then this is actually the real thing, which is clear plastic, right? Okay, and of course, being deployed, right? Then of course we have other universities. So I think so many universities are working hard and developing this and that. So sorry, I could not get most of the pictures, photos, yeah. All right, so this is the cubicle saringan COVID-19 developed by the Unimap spin-off company. Then we have the isopod. This is from the UKM. Okay, all right. So then we have the post-COVID-19. So meaning that once the MCO is being relaxed, so the improvement of the new inventions. All right. So what is the post-COVID future? All right. So meaning explore alternative visions for the society. This is a quote from Yuko Harayama. We can select as to say will dominate coronavirus, will be aiming to survive under control conditions. And that's what she said. Right. So as our Director General of our Ministry of Health, Dr. Malaysia Abdullah, also stated that we have to live with COVID-19. All right, because we couldn't. The vaccine is no vaccine yet. There is no vaccine yet for COVID-19. So, but Malaysia has already almost won the battle because our hospital also, the percentage of recovery is about 85% and above, I think. Right. So therefore, now they say the new normal is we have to live with this COVID-19, meaning that we still have to maintain social distancing and so on. All right. So for WHO, the R&D blueprint and the COVID-19. So the R&D blueprint was activated to accelerate diagnostics, vaccine, and therapeutics for this novel coronavirus. Right. So the blueprints aim to improve coordination between scientists and global health professionals, accelerated the research and development process, and developed new norms and standards to learn and improve upon the global response. Right? So this is under the WHO. So what happened in here in Malaysia? All right. So for us, the healthcare and social service. So KKM already have the My Sejahtera. I think everyone you like to enter the mall or so certain eateries and so on, you have to do the scanning. Right, so that one they keep, right? So but the thing is, okay, they have that, but what about the security and the privacy issues? Right, you want to track them, yes, but you have to have some kind of agreement. The tracking is for what? So we don't want to it can be used against the person. All right, so we have a lot of tracking apps. Entering eateries, restaurant, malls, and so on. They take your name, want your phone number, and of course, phone. Right, they track your phone. track you, track your phone by tracking. They track you by tracking your phone. All right. Then we also have the test lab. During COVID-19, I think Malaysia has at first was about how many just in the two, maybe about 15 labs only. But then it was when the peak, we have about 23 labs, and they try to do more, meaning that they are targeting about 20,000 per day testing. So I think they almost achieved that one. All right. So now post-COVID, what happened to this lab? All right. So this lab, because they're hiring about 2,000 science graduates here. Because previously, science graduates like biology, chemistry, they know where to go, right? Yeah, because it's not in demand before this, right? So compared to IT and so on. So then, therefore, with this test lab, they were in demand, right? They were hired, but then after this, what happened to them? So to me, right, the post-COVID-19, so this lab should now focusing on finding, testing, and testing the vaccine or other types of medicines for other types of disease. Then next we have this fintech or the finance tech, right? So cashless payment suddenly is so popular, right? Not popular because of popularity. Is the need is there, like e-wallet, e-dompet, or settle, all right, and also the e-transfer. Now they have the do it now, etc., etc. So many, right? So the same thing, security and privacy issue need to be addressed and improved. They do have the blockchain technology in, what do you call it, implemented, but you need to improve to make sure that you have the confidence from the people who are using it. All right, so information and communications so need to address the digital access to all population. Right? So this is suddenly when the online, we cannot go to the class, or we cannot have face-to-face, in-person teaching. So we only have the online teaching. Online teaching is also face-to-face. It's only not in person, yeah? Right? But then they didn't make the studies. They found out, especially in schools, how many percent are without laptops, how many percent are without it, but majority has the smartphone, but then how many percent, and then how many percent do not have the internet, or like the one hot in the YouTube, our friend, our student who has to climb up tree to get a strong internet access, in a strong signal for the data, right? So that's why we don't want people to climb out just to take the test. So they climb out the tree to get the test, to take the test. Okay, so this is the what do you call it? The digital divide is there, right? And then next is the mobility. Now the need for autonomous vehicle is greater now, right? Whereby now, because I also don't want to get into a taxi where there's another person there, you may get infected, because inside a car is quite close. You cannot make the 1 meter distance there, right? And of course, next is the fashion. This is good to embrace the new norm. All right. If you heard previously, especially in France, whereby I don't know why they do not like, they ban people wearing burkini, all right, or they ban people wearing the hijab, and on also the purdah, things like that. Like to go swimming also, cannot wear the burkini and so on, right? Now with the COVID-19, they themselves have to cover themselves using the mask, similar like purdah, things like that, right? And then we have the food chain delivery, need to improve the delivery system to ensure quality and safety, right? So I've seen people, I'm not one of them, I don't order food online with the Food Panda or Grab Food and so on. To me, the delivery systems needs to be enhanced. So meaning that how can you ensure the quality and the safety of the food being supplied to you, right? And then environment, maintaining quality and safety. I think this one is also what do you call it? Is very important. Maintaining because the 3 months that everything closed down, all the illegal factories or the factories closed down, especially near the river. You can see that the river of Malacca River is clear, and there's finally some fish inside there. Likewise in Penang also, where very popular with the very dirty river, now all clean because of this factory is closed. So for the post COVID-19, how to maintain this? Now the factory is open again. So the thing is, how is our the ministry in charge of the environment to ensure that this our environment is clean, is as during the lockdown during the COVID-19. Okay. All
Dr.
right.
Liza, 1 more minute. Okay,
Yeah,
now finish
yeah.
it. Okay.
Summary. Yes. Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you. I edit time myself. Okay. So this summary. In summary, our COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the society 5.0 and also the industrial revolution 4.0. Right. So meaning that I'm like myself also, the only thing that I have not embraced yet is the e-wallet or e-dompet, and also the food chain, the food, grab food or food panda. That is the only two things I myself has not done yet. I try not to still, but the rest all I already embrace. And that is, I'm talking about myself lah. So maybe other people will also have the same thing. All right. So thank you very much for your attention. And you can email me if you want to have more discussion about the issues. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Noliza. With the presentation was very informative, and please keep your question, or you can type in the chat box. We will collect and address the question later. So I would like to introduce our second speaker, Professor Dr. Titik Hawa. She's currently the Dean of School of Science and Technology and also Deputy Vice Chancellor for Asia E University. Prior to that, she has experiences as an academic in University Technology Mara, in University, let me get the English version, National Defence University of Malaysia, and also at the King Abdul Aziz University in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Prof. Titik is an active member of IEEE Power Energy Society, and also her experiences or expertise is in power system stability analysis, AI applications in power system, and also power system operation. So without further ado, I would like to present Prof. Titik. You can start with the presentation. Okay.
Can you see?
Yes, we can see that.
Alright. Okay, auzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank IEEE PES, Women WIE,
Women in Power and
Women in Power, so I forgot the name. Women in Power and also WIE for inviting me today to share maybe some of my experience and also observations, into the new norm due to this COVID-19. So I've chosen the title New Norm for Engineering Education. Are we ready? So because I'm from, before that let me introduce, I'm from Asia E University, a university which is focused on online distance learning. Okay, so which means that online learning is not alien to us. We have been practicing online learning since our establishment. So in fact, when before MCO, before the lockdown, we have prepared in facing the lockdown before the Prime Minister announced the movement control order. So we have prepared with the online classes, because some of our programs is a blended program. So other than online, we also have face-to-face classes. Previously, it was conducted physically. So due to COVID, due to the MCO, we quickly changed into online face-to-face. And also, we quickly adapt our final assessment or final examination. So maybe later I can share our experience in conducting online examination. Okay, so I will continue with my presentation. Okay, I have very few slides, but I hope that I can explain further. Oops. Okay, sorry. Okay, so when MCO comes, we see a lot of changes in our practice. Of course, we cannot go out. We have to observe social distance. So in the first MCO, we cannot go out. Our movement is so restricted and so on. So when we have the conditional MCO, then we have to observe the SOP, like wearing mask, social distance, sanitizer, and so on. And of course, one thing that the routine that really changed, of course, we have to work from home. So working from home is a new thing, to many of us. And of course, for students, regardless which field that they are studying, okay, all lecturers start to move into online learning. Okay, so that is in the mode of delivery. And of course, at that time, all is the changes is so sudden. We are not prepared. We are not prepared how to conduct the online learning. We are not prepared how to do the assessment, and we change our activities. We change our mode, but actually we refuse to change the practice. So that's why I noticed that actually observing my children, two of my children, they are university students. I noticed that suddenly they are burdened with so many classes and so many assignments. Everybody or all the lecturers are giving them assignment to be handed in within 2 weeks, within one month, and everybody wants to assess everything. So it becomes a burden to the students. At the same time, I also notice it also a burden to the lecturers. This one I noticed from my husband. He's a lecturer as well himself, and he's also in stress because he need to get familiar, with the learning platform. For example, Google Meet or Zoom and so on. So is it all these things, all these applications, the lecturers has to learn within a short time and use it. Okay, so and they have to prepare and convert everything, all their material, into online learning. Suddenly they become a content developer and expect the student to learn online, without realizing whether what they are doing is it a right pedagogy or not, for online learning. Okay, so everybody were caught red-handed. Everybody were not prepared, and the lecturer thinks that they want to give everything. So there are too much to be given to the students. because they are afraid that online learning cannot achieve or they cannot deliver the learning outcomes. And therefore, they think that they have to assess the learning outcomes, all the learning outcomes. So that makes the assessment is so extensive, is so much, and at the end, the student got burnt out. So I see my children, they got burnt out. So many assignments given by the lecturers and have to be submitted within 2 weeks or 1 month. Okay. So at the end, of course, everybody got burnt out. So, and looking at working from home, of course, when we work from home, I experienced it myself. I also feel, I think working from home gives me more stress than going to the office. Because we know that, by 9 o'clock, I have to be in front of my laptop. And I told my children, don't disturb me. I'm working now, 9 o'clock, but I have to stop at 12 because I have to cook for my children. Okay, and then by 2 o'clock, I have to continue working, sit in front of the laptop. So all these activities and practices, we have to adapt within a very short time. Okay, and as a management, okay, because I'm the Deputy Vice Chancellor and also the Dean, we have to monitor our staff. So in this mode of working, how are we going to ensure our staff are delivering what they're supposed to do? Meaning that their KPIs, their performance, their productivity, we as the at the management post, we have to make sure that our staff are productive and also performing as what they're supposed to be. So we are thinking about how to measure their performance, how to measure the amount of work that they have done, how to measure the output of the work. So then we start, we in my university, we have what we call a daily reporting. Wow, daily reporting, it's so taxing to the staff. Okay, so some staff write very simple, some staff write very elaborate. Every hour they record down what they do. And some of the staff, when they write or when they report what they are doing, we see that most of the time they report that answering emails, and therefore we just wondering how we're going to measure the outcomes. So all these things we have to think. And of course, to me, work from home or the practices that we had during the COVID or during the MCO is going to continue. I think what we have been practicing is going to continue. So that's why it becomes our new norm. Okay, so we see that we are depending so much. We are depending so much on the internet. The IoTs. We are depending so much on the IoT. But one thing I like is that we are very, very, when we are depending so much on IoT, depending on internet. So of course, wherever that we are, wherever we are, as long as there is internet connection, we can work. For example, last weekend, my university, we had online orientation for the new students. So we have online orientations for the new student, but on my part, being the Deputy Vice Chancellor, I have to address to the new students. Welcoming them, give motivation, and so on and so on. But at the same time, I have already committed with my family for a short holiday to look for durian. So we went to Perak, Batu Kurau, to look for durian, and at the same time I have to address my new students, on the online orientation, and at the same time I have to monitor the whole process of online orientation. Yeah, and also we have a picnic beside the waterfall. So you can imagine I'm observing the orientation, yeah, while enjoying myself at the waterfall because there is a connection. Yeah, so you can see how flexible it is. Yeah, so that's where I can see. Yeah, later I'm going to explain. Yeah, what is new norm? Yeah, so I come up to a conclusion. New norm is the flexibility. Yeah, new norm is so much that you cannot go anywhere. You have to wear mask. You have to sanitize. But actually, the way how you carry on your everyday life, how you work, how you study. Yeah, so everything is so flexible. It is up to you how you're going to manage your time, how you're going to manage your study, how you're going to how the students going to manage the study, how we, yeah, as an employer or as an employee or the top management as an employee, how we're going to manage, yeah, our work. Okay, so all right, so I will see, yeah, new norm in post-COVID, yeah. The social distance will always be there. Yeah, so that's why becomes we become very flexible. We have work from home. Um, we have work from home, and student also they can should be able to manage, yeah, their time, their classes, and so on. So it becomes a borderless space, yeah, borderless space whereby um, anybody, yeah, can be connected. Yeah, so anybody can be connected. And in terms of education, yeah, there is a new norm in the delivery. Yeah, and also we can see a lot of information. Yeah, we are depending so much on the clouds. Yeah, on the cloud. So so that's what I see, yeah, in post-COVID, yeah. So how we going to practice, how students is going to practice, everything will change. So I can see that the key point, yeah, post-COVID is actually flexibility. Yeah, so we can't really say that, oh, now post-COVID everything has to be done, all the classes have to be done online, all the assessment have to be done online. No, yeah, when we say flexibility, there are some classes can be done online, some classes, yes, it has to be done face to face, especially the engineering programs. Yeah, some we cannot, yeah, we cannot have it online. For example, for lab, yeah, student needs to have the hands on. Yeah, so they need to come to the lab. Yeah, but some of the subjects which more on the theoretical, even one subject there is a theory, there is a practical. Yeah, so on the theory part it can be done online, so whereby the student actually can learn by themselves. Yeah, so independent learning is there. Yeah, but when it comes to the practical, they have to come to the lab maybe, yeah, to do their lab experiment, yeah, and get assessed from it. Yeah, so flexibility is the key point, and therefore we, yeah, as the education provider, yeah, we have to think of the flexibility. Yeah, so which means that now, yeah, student should be able to choose their own class, when they want to learn, where they want to learn, yeah, and when they want to be assessed, how they want to be assessed. Yeah, so the key flexibility is there. So it's not prescribed. So that's what I see. Because this is another example. Yeah, I have 5 children, and I noticed that my youngest, you know, he's still schooling, yeah, in the secondary school, and he was so excited that he can make his own timetable, meaning that he choose when he want to take the class. You know, so he said that, okay, I want to sleep at this time, so he would not have the class there. I want to go out and play football, so he arranged his own classes. He was so excited. Yeah, so that's what I see. Yeah, if students are given um trust, yeah, and accountability, yeah, whereby they manage their own learning, so I think they can learn better. Okay, so flexibility to me, yeah, I think is the key point, yeah, after post COVID. Okay, so when we talk about flexibility, yeah, we have to look back at our program structure. Okay, so does the student tied up, for example, for engineering, will the student tied up with that 4 years of duration of study in order to get their degree? Are students tied up with prescribed with 5, 6, or 7 subjects per semester? So we have to think, about how we're going to look into, or how we need to look back, review back at our program structure. Okay, nowadays people are talking about micro credential, yeah, whereby it is actually the degree bits and bytes, yeah, whereby we chunk the degree. Let's say one degree is 120 hours credit, yeah, so which means that we can chunk the degree, yeah, let's say into um 5, 4, or even smaller micro credentials. Let's say one subject, student can take it as a micro credential. So which means that student can take or study anytime they are ready. They can come in and come out to school. They can work. It is so flexible. So like they have what they call as a credit bank. They have a credit bank where they accumulate the credits, and when they want to get the scroll, when they want to get the degree, then only they will register into the program, and they get all the credit transfer for all the credits that they have earned, and remaining, like maybe they just need to spend only one semester full time, yeah, to complete the 120 degree, the 120 credits, yeah, to earn their degree. So we have to think all this flexibility in learning, yeah. So actually micro credentials, yeah, is one avenue of flexibility. Okay, and of course, when we say about micro credentials, yeah, it requires a learning platform. It requires a learning management system, and which means that the student can access, yeah, can learn, can access to the content, to the learning material anywhere, anytime that they like, yeah. And our learning material also, can be accessed worldwide. Now, any students from abroad wants to take our micro credential, they can do that. Yeah. So that's where we can see the borderless space, and everything depending on our information. Yeah, it is in the cloud. Okay. So okay. So when this is what I think, yeah, the new norm in in engineering education. So of course, the new norm will also comes from the industry. The industry have a new norm, have a new way how they're going to operate. Yeah, which as Prof. Noliza mentioned just now, with IR 4.0, it is the industry now heavily dependent on IoT. Yeah, so which means that we, as the engineering education provider, we have to think about the new skill set that need to be acquired by our student. In other words, we have to look back at our program learning outcome, PLO. Is it relevant with the new norm in the industry? Yeah. So what are the skill sets required in the new norm? What are the new skill sets required for the IR 4.0? We have to review back, yeah, the program learning outcomes. Yeah. So we may have the new learning outcomes. And therefore, when we have a new learning outcomes, we have to review the content. Yeah. So the content may change. Yeah. And we can see now a lot of all these IoTs, and depending so much on data, so big data and everything. So we need to see. So we can't really say that, oh, big data is only for computer science and so on. No, to me, I think engineering also need to use big data. How you're going to retrieve the data, and of course, artificial intelligence. So all these need to be incorporated, yeah, in our program, yeah, in our curriculum, in our syllabus. Okay, so therefore we need to look back the content. So some of the content are outdated. We need to review and remove. Yeah, so this is a new paradigm shift. Yeah, so when we come up with the new content, we have when we have identified a new content, then of course it comes to the delivery methods. Yeah, so we need to look into the delivery methods. So with the flexibility in mind, yeah, we need to look at the delivery methods. Okay, so because I've mentioned just now, our practice during MCO, okay, will continue at least maybe 50%. Okay, maybe after the now PKPB, what is it in English? The recovery. Yes, thank you, Frozu. After the recovery, after the recovery period, maybe we don't need to wear masks. After the recovery period, maybe we don't need to sanitize. Yeah, but the flexibility is still there. Yeah, so maybe we need to think. Maybe the delivery is 50-50. So we need to look into the online delivery. We need to look into the learning management system, efficient learning management system, you know, and therefore we need to look at the content. We need to when we look at when we in our delivery, since the students now become independent, yeah, they become more independent, they are being less prescribed. So which means that our delivery mode or our delivery method should be motivating the students, yeah, so that they know they can learn better, they should learn better, and they can evaluate their own learning. Yeah, so which means that in our delivery methods, in our delivery, yeah, the learning analytics need to be incorporated. So which means that the student should be able to evaluate themselves, you know, whether have they learned, have they achieved the learning outcomes, or so on. Yeah, and therefore we also need to look into the pedagogy. Yeah, the pedagogy for the online learning. Yeah, so what I see, you know, experience from my friends, and also experience from my children, you know, when lecturers and students now, they are following their timetable. Okay, so if the timetable for a certain subject 2 hours, so the student has to sit and listen to the lecturers for 2 hours. Yeah, alone, without their friends. They are in their room, like my children, they are in their room on their bed, listening to the lecturer, talking to her, to him, or to herself. Okay, and it is very taxing. Okay, some of my colleagues or my staff, you know, they said that maximum that they can give lecture online is up to 2 hours. If more than 2 hours, it's very exhausting. Yeah, so even the students, yeah, sometimes or most of the times I noticed, okay, the student are just off their video, off their mic, and don't know go anywhere. Yeah, I'm talking my observation from my son. Yeah, so boys are a little bit naughty. So when I come to his room, I heard and I see the lecturer is giving lecture, and you know what he's doing? Watching the TV. Because when he come back from when during MCO, when he come back, he cannot go back, so he take one room and he renovate his room. Everything is there, connectivity, TV, sound system, everything is there. And when he get bored with the lecture, so he just leave the lecture, talk to him or to herself, he's just watching the TV. Okay, and if I don't observe, I said, what are you doing? You are not listening or paying attention to the lecture. So because the mother is a lecturer herself, you know, but for that is what happening most of the time. Yeah, so we have to look at the pedagogy. Maybe we cannot have the lecture 1 hour 2 hours straight. Maybe we need to break up to 1 hour 1 hour. Okay, 2 sessions, yeah, or 3 short sessions. Yeah, so we have to look back. Yeah, we have to look back at the pedagogy of online learning. Okay, so of course, after delivery, we need to assess. Yeah, we need to assess the learning outcome. So with this flexibility, with the flexibility mode, yeah, we need to think about new assessment method. Okay, so for my university, we are prepared. Yeah, before the MCO, we have decided and approved by Senate, okay, how we going to conduct the final examination. So we agree that the final examination will be online, synchronous online. So which means that the student take the exam online using our learning management system. So we have another mode of assessment, which is take-home exam, whereby the student has to submit within 24 hours. And then the other one, we have what we call extended assignment. Yeah, student has to do a standard, has to answer a standard questions, and they have to submit within 1 month. And when we do a post-mortem recently, yeah, we see that student got stressed with this extended assignment. Yeah, because they have to take, let's say 3 subjects. Yeah, and because my student, most of them, they are working adults. Yeah, they take 3 subjects, and all these 3 subjects, they have to answer the extended assignment. Yeah, and imagine 3 subjects have to be submitted within 1 month, just like the other students in the conventional mode, not the full-time students. You know, they have to submit 6 assignment within 1 month. So it is very taxing. Yeah, so we see that based on the um, feedback, you know, from students, you know, after we had our final assessment, final examination, yeah, we see that the student like the online examination, yeah, synchronous online examination, and they like the take home exam where they submit, yeah, the answer within 24 hours. Yeah, and because the student wants to study for the exam, take the exam, that's it, finish. Yeah, so they don't want to wait for 1 month or for 1 week, yeah, to submit the answer. So based on this feedback from the students, you know, and we had our post-mortem on the final assessment, so we strategize the mode of assessment that we're going to have end of this semester. Yeah, so our end of semester exam will be sometime early August. You know, because my university is practicing 3 short semesters, so we are preparing, yeah, the improve, so we call the improve mode of assessment for this coming final examination. Yeah, so we see that I see that all these things, yeah, we need to look back. Yeah, we need to pause and reflect. Yeah, our curriculum, our syllabus, our learning outcome, our mode of delivery, before that our content, our mode of assessment. So we need to do this. Yeah, we need to really plan. Otherwise, the coming semester will just be the same as the previous semester, whereby student burnt out, lecturers burnt out, because too much to give, too much to assess, because we don't plan. So we have to plan. Okay, so this is what I see. Yeah, the main enabler when we want to be more flexible. yeah, of course, we cannot run away from the technology. Yeah, so if we want to be flexible, we want to give more flexibility to students, more accountability to students. Yeah, we need a good learning management system. Yeah, we need a good learning management system whereby the student can study, yeah, partly on their own, partly guided, yeah, and we need to have a learning management system which can analyze the student learning or uh, equip with the learning analytics, yeah. And of course, when we say technology, yeah, the connectivity is very important. The connectivity. It's no point we have all this technology, but student cannot access. Yeah, cannot access to this technology. Student cannot come to the class online. The student cannot get the material. So all the last mile is very important. Yeah, we can say that majority of the students have smartphone and so on. Okay, but how smart the phone is, but if there is no connectivity, there is no point. Yeah, um, I'm talking on behalf of our students, yeah, because our students are online distance learning students. They come all over Malaysia and and from other countries as well. Yeah, so we see that the connectivity, yeah, plays a very important role. Yeah, and we have to make sure that our student can connect to our learning management system. Our student can access, yeah, to the examination and so on. Yeah, so that's where we see that um, our government, yeah, is giving incentive 1 gig free every day, yeah, to all Malaysians, yeah, and the students can enjoy this free internet, you know. But of course, if the government give 40 gig but there is no connectivity, still no point. Okay, so of course the other one, we need to look into, let's say, on the assessment, yeah. So the lecturers has to be able to adopt, yeah, and also to adapt, yeah. So adaptive to change is very important, and we see that um, the recent NCO or all these changes is taken place is in a very short time, yeah. So everyone has to change to a new norm in a very short time. So that's why some who cannot adapt to change, they are lag behind. Some who are adaptive to change, okay, they move forward. Okay, so being a lecturer and also being a student, so I think normally students has no problem. Young people, they easily adapt to change. They can easily adapt to online and so on. But we, I can consider the dinosaur. You know, we should be able to adapt to change. Yeah. So technology and adaptive to change, yeah, is very important. Oops. Okay. So before I end, I would like to conclude. Yeah. We see that uh, due to COVID, you know, we everything changed. Yeah. So that's come to the new norm. So I can see that the MCO, it has been 3 months, yeah, 3 months MCO. Now we are in the recovery period. So we have gone through 3 months of MCO, and I think these 3 months have changed our life, have changed our activities. Yeah, so we can see that actually we can change um, by within these 3 months. I think we can change our practice. Yeah, but another thing that we have to bear in mind, I think, um, we are not going. Time will not go back, or practice will not go back to where we were from. We were. Yeah, so the change in practice, this new norm will remain. It will remain. Some students, they hope that they can go back to normal. They can have a normal class. They can have a normal hangout with their friends. Things will not be the same like before. Okay, so the new norm will be there, I think, forever. Yeah, so that's where I see. Yeah, so we need to change. Yeah, we need to look back at our practice. For engineering education, we need to look back at our curriculum, our learning outcomes, the mode of delivery, and so on. We need to look back. Yeah, and we need to change. And therefore, that's why my question. Yeah, are we ready? So of course, um, to me, yeah, from what I see, ready or not, we have to go through. Yeah, it's just like um, you have to jump. Yeah, you are forced to jump into the pool. Then only you learn how to swim. This is what happened to us. Yeah. When COVID, suddenly we are jumped. We've been pushed into the pool, and suddenly we have to learn how to swim. We have to learn how to conduct class online. We have to learn how to have the assessment online. Everything we have to learn within these 3 months. Yeah. So, and it will remains. The practice will remains. Yeah. So whether we are ready or not, we have to be ready. Yeah. There is no choice. There is no choice and no time to think. Yeah. So we just need to learn how to swim. We need to adapt everything, and of course the improvement should be there. Yeah, so that's why post-mortem review the PDCA plan, do, check, yeah, and action, yeah, and review back. So the CQI loop will always be there. Yeah. So that's what I think my point. Yeah. We have to be ready, but of course, the improvement is ongoing. The improvement is always there. Yeah. So the new norm will remain until end of the world. We are not going back to our previous practice with our previous life. Yeah. So it will still remain. Yeah. So I think personally, I kind of like MCO because I have a work-life balance. Yeah, my children in front of me, I can observe them. Yeah, so I think if life goes back, when my children go back to the hostel, to the university, I'm going to miss them. Yeah. So I think that's a short sharing experience. Yeah, and my observation. So I would like to apologize, yeah, if the information that I'm trying to give doesn't achieve my, the audience expectation. Okay, and I would like to thank very much again IEEE PES and Women in Power for inviting me this afternoon for this webinar. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Prof. Titik Hawa, for very interesting talk. Okay, so the third speaker.
How I'm going to. Oh,
I'm-
sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Unshare. Stop. All right. Sorry.
Okay, the third speaker is Dr. Chua Su Cheng from Center of Economics and Finance Studies, Faculty of Business and Management, University Jemara. If the previous talk we maybe focused on specific issues like research and also engineering education, but Dr. Chua will give her view in terms of economics. What are the impact of economics that caused by COVID-19, and how does it affect all of us? So Dr. Chua, it's all yours now.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. I think my webcam having some problem again.
Okay.
It couldn't project. I don't know what's the problem.
Okay, we can see that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry for the technical problem. Good afternoon and salam sejahtera. I'm glad to be here today to sharing some views on the economic aspect that brought by this COVID-19 and also the economics post-COVID-19 economics. And thank you to IEEE Power and Engineer Society and also IEEE Women in Engineer Malaysia. So I'm Chua Soon Cheng. I'm from Faculty of Business and Management, UiTM Puncak Alam. Today I'm going to talk about post-COVID-19 economics, what will be the new normal. So I'm going to switch from a very technical, from engineering to engineering to economics. I hope that you manage to cope with the title that we decided to discuss on sharing the overview. So we know that this COVID-19 outbreak has caused a huge degree of uncertainty into people's life, as according to the previous two speakers, that we need to adapt to face masks, we need to adapt to new life with the hand sanitizer and no big gathering and so on. The world economy also undergoing a transformation as well, and people must find ways to adapt and adhere to the new normal. So this pandemic is a global impact and it's different from the economic crisis that we have seen before in the past, like the Asian financial crisis happened in the year 1997. So it brought disruptions to the economic activities in various sectors and weakening consumers and business confidence. And the shock is idiosyncratic. It is idiosyncratic, means that it's a difference from, and it gives huge impact to the country's economy as a whole. So the shocks here we can see from two aspects, from supply side and also from demand side. So the supply shock is a shock to the economic ability to produce goods and services. Like during the MCO period, like moving restriction period, we are not allowed to have any mobility. So definitely this will affect the production. So the productions has halted with anything that required idiosyncratic labor, since labor mobility is not allowed. And now as we are at the recovery period, okay, and our daily life is slowly returning to normal. So the initial supply side shock may be recovery slowly. It will recover slowly. Now we can see the operations have those factories operations have been back to normal. But this supply side caused a negative demand shock. So domestic demand is slow to gain traction due to physical scars, reducing income, and job losses. Like we are very cautious in our spending due to some have faced some of the pay cut, and some of them even though lost their job, retrenchment, or been laid off. So this means that consumer spending sentiments has been affected. So we dare not to simply spend our money, and we are very cautious on spending money. So the demand is slow to get traction. So not only consumer, businesses also affected, whereby by this economic uncertainty caused by this COVID-19 pandemic. So this make the firms caution in their investment. They are very cautious in making new investment here. So when these two big sectors, the consumer spending and also firm spending, is reducing. So as the two big component in the national income or GDP, we call it gross domestic product. So there's the only entity magnitude that to step into is the government. So thus, urgent policy responses is required here. So we will look at some of the policy respondents that have been implemented by Malaysia government later on. So it also gave impact to the financial market as well. This uncertainty trigger a switch outflow of capital, especially the foreign capital. Okay, and it caused a dive in the markets and depreciations on the exchange rate. So this we can observe from the movements. Okay, from the Malaysia ringgits in the exchange rate market, and it has been very unstable, and it has been depreciate the value. And it also gives impact on the public finance aspect. Public finance means that government spending. I think it's not only Malaysia in this region, in ASEAN region. Typically, most of the countries we having our existing public debt. Okay, in portions to GDP is more than 30%. So like Malaysia per se, now currently our public debt is 52% of GDP. And according to our finance minister, I think few days ago, I think 2 or 3 days ago, in the press conference, he said that it might go up to 55% of the GDP. So this actually will give pressure to the overall financial system. So as the government has to let go of fiscal deficit targets and increase the borrowing to finance spending, okay, from the financial sides, and also some measures to ease the market credits, such as loan facilities, by reducing interest rate, adjust loan repayment, delay repayment periods. Like I think in Malaysia itself, our central bank, Bank Negara Malaysia, has been reducing its interest rate to, I think twice in early this year, to become only 2%, the OPR. Okay, the OPR now is only at 2%. That's a very lower rate. And so this, like in Malaysia, our fiscal deficit might go up to 5.8 to 6%, according to our finance minister. In order to finance the stimulus package to the economy, to boost the economy from the impacts that given by the COVID-19. And it also, this pandemic, it also affect the world supply chain. So the world supply chain is interrupted. So since I think earlier of this year, especially when this outbreak started in China, and China started to lock down. So not only us, I think the world supply chains have been affected due to this the travel and mobility restriction. So, and this might bring interruption in our normal business operation. But these situations might be getting better and better. Okay, the supply chains will recover soon, as now, especially in Asia, we are very well controlled, and our prevention is quite effective. So we start to, some of the world supply chains start to slowly recover, and the travel and mobility restrictions start to be released. And also it gives impacts to the vulnerable sectors, especially travel and tourism sector. So those vulnerable groups okay, are really was affected by the during the moving restriction period, and some of them still affected during this post or the moving restriction period, such as those like informal or daily wage workers. Some of the business has been closed down, so they are the first victim because they are informal or they are the daily workers that attach with the company. And now, so we just and also some pasar malam hawkers. So they are not allowed. They just currently has been allowed to back to business, and also for those informal workers in travel and tourism sectors, like those like drivers and tourist agents. So they lost their job, or they have to switch it tentatively, okay, to another sectors. Some some have to involve in the baking sectors. Some have to switch to one of the homestay, I think appeared in the TV few last 2 or 3 weeks ago in a program that as a homestay owner, he Malaysia, our April unemployment rate is 5%, 5% compared to March 3.9%. So normally our unemployment will negative 2, and we forecast our growth will be 4.5 to 4.8%. So GDP of Malaysia is not only, I think, is across the world and across the region. And unemployment rate also increased lower than the highest. I think the highest, I can't remember, I think it's 1985. I can't remember exactly. Our unemployment is 7.8%. But we have and the June reading. So this pandemic, it gives some changes in our economy structure. First is the explosion of the digital era and pressure from big tech with IR 4.0 as Lisa, right? Okay, so local company has to leverage to the use of technology, especially our SMEs. They have to undergo the digital technology in order to modernize their operation to embrace the new business climate, as we have the new normal climate and environment that we need to practice for the post-COVID-19 period. MITI has lazy in the informal sector and gig economy. So especially for those that involvement of workforce in the informal sectors, due to some of the jobless problem and some incomes has been affected. So I don't know whether have you realized, from my observation, I can see that the street vendor, the street hawkers that beside the roads have been increased, the amount have been increased. In my housing area, we can see that you can see appear some of the stores like selling fruits are selling durian. Now is the durian seasons. Some new store that's selling nasi lemak, like selling burger. So this will we can see that there are more and more workforce that involved in this informal sectors as their incomes have been affected, and some of them has been laid off, and some of them face difficulties to find new jobs. And also, it also have this also encourage some of the especially young adults to involve in the gig economy, especially in food deliveries services. Like we're having Grab Food, Food Panda. Okay, so this indirectly it will bring up uprising to the gig economy. And also we can see that emerging of new sectors. So actually it's not really new sectors. It means that it's already in the economy, but it's not really embraced. Okay, it's not really expand. But now we can see that this new, so I call it as new sectors here. First is the cottage industry, like cottage industry, that home, or we call it home industry. So some it starts to expand, and also online retail. So this okay, we go back to the cottage industry. So this cottage industry, now you can see that in it has been has a what we call the increasing trend due to the convenience of the e-marketing and e-selling channel. So they market through the social media. Some of the household, they are selling, they are baking, right? Okay, so because the families due to this convenient e-commerce, like because e-commerce or e-marketing channel, so they be able to slowly crafting this cottage industry. And also online retail also accelerate in this not during the MCO period, and also the post COVID-19 economy, to reduce the what we call that, the likelihoods of viral transmission. So and when this like e-marketing, e-selling, e-commerce, so for those business has an increasing trend. So businesses that support this new e-commerce tend to be the benefit. Just like I mentioned, the gig economies, like especially the logistic from the logistic wise. And I think another aspect is the cashless payment. Cashless payment system. It now start to gain more traction, as just now mentioned by Prof. Noliza. We reducing because we are start reducing the handling of paper, because in order to reduce the likelihoods of viral transmission. So and I think our government, also Malaysia government, also promoting the adoptions of e-wallet by giving, just currently with the announced by our finance ministers, give I think 50 if I'm not mistaken, 50 ringgits for those that with annual income 100,000 per annum, below 100,000 per annum. So actually this is to encourage the adoptions of e-wallets, and also try to generate the economy. So after this, we're going to look at the policy responses. So when there is a crisis, government role is very important on their policy responses. Okay, by mobilizing macro, financial, and structural policy tools. So in for Malaysia per se, okay, we're having two stage of financial responses package. Stage 1 measures is aimed to support income during the MCO period. Okay, while the stage 2 measures aim to kickstart the economy after the restrictions are lifted. So we don't know whether it will having a stage 3 or not. So we are waiting for that. So stage 1, actually the stage 1 measure, it has been announced on February. It's before the MCO period. We call it as economy stimulus package. And then it's the amounts have been add on the second add on. It also called, it's also still under phase 1. Okay, this is the add on the amount. Then we call it as Prihatin, the economy stimulus package. Okay, during the MCO period on the end of March, if I'm not mistaken. And in total, it cost 128 million. So this actually is to ease, this stimulus package is to ease the burden of the rakyat, means of the citizens and the business community by whereby it include the liquidity support for both individuals and businesses. While stage 2 here is measures to stimulate the economy after the MCO is lifted. Now our MCO has been lifted. Okay, so our economy recovery plan has been announced on early of this June. We call it as Penjana. Okay, it costs 35 billion. It just announced currently. So it is to help. It aims to helping the affected individual and to make the business rebound, so the business be able to rebound. So governments have been concerned. This is one of the from the fiscal policy aspect. Yeah? So this actually this package or this policy response is to preserving the economic's productive capacity, and also to keeping the supply chain going on. So it will our supply chain and our productive capacity can go on. It will not affect it much. So we still need time to evaluate the impacts, okay, or the returns that given by this policy response.
Dr. Chua, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm very sorry. I think we are running out of time. If you can have like 1 or 2 minutes to summarize your presentation.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So,
right.
so how's the post-pandemic world? This is taking taking some conclusions summarized from here. I'm taking from the United Nations Development Program. So actually, according to the report that issued by this United Nations Development Program, it's expected that we're having a V-shaped recovery, but some of the economies are not really very optimistic like them. So here I put it whether we have V-shape or U-shape. So if we manage to recover by second half of 2020, then we may experience V-shape. If we recover slowly and then we probably GDP is reduced for a few quarters, probably it's the end of this year or early of next year, then we may experience U-shaped recovery. So however, we try, I think our government, not only our government, I think every government that will try to do something, and I think the private sectors and the governments and the public sector have to cooperate or integrate together to overcome this economic uncertainty or the crisis that bring by the this pandemic. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chua. I think it's very interesting. I believe that as a normal consumer, we also need to know what happens to our economic situation, so that maybe we can contribute to buy local local goods or something like that, or travel domestic.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to open the floor for very quick questions from audience. You can unmute yourself and ask any specific speakers, or you can also type online in the chat box. Any question? I think some of the question already answered in the chat box. Any other question? Maybe to Dr. Chua or to Prof. Norisa?
Can one on the panel ask questions?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm interested in the Dr. Chua.
Yes.
The V-shape, the V-shape economic. Can you highlight a little bit more? What is that? Why
What's that? The V-shape.
Yeah.
V-shape recovery and U-shape.
Yes.
V-shape means that our economy can rebound quickly. It can rebound quickly. So now our MCO has been lifted, right? So if the economy be able to recover by second half of this 2020, it means that the second half is coming soon, right? So our GDP is review early. We have a growth, and then there are more more
Okay.
pessimistic.
What about
Will
your
be
personal
W
view?
shape or
Will
L
this
shape.
be
L
U-shape
shape
for
that
us
is the
or
worst lah.
V-shape? I mean your prediction,
For
your personal view to see the environment, see the like me, I'm eagerly to go tour to tour, to go here and there, but then I scared to go to the airport or to get to fly the plane to catch the plane because of that. So
by looking at this current situation, I think it will be U-shaped lah for me. I feel that it should now most of the economy also feel that it will be a U-shape, because initially when it just started, we thought it will be V-shape. Just in the report that by United Nations also, it just put V-shape. The U-shape is an add-on. So for me, I feel that it will be U-shape because this is a global. It give a global impact, not only a region.
I see.
Like Asian financial crisis that happened in the past is a bit different. This is a bit
But
different.
I
This means that it normally is happening in a region.
but I think it's also totally depends on the how big is the industry. So which industry will improve or will recover faster, and which industry will recover it takes longer time to recover. To me, I think like food should not be a problem. Food should be exponential, because that one is really people need to eat every day, right? And then now people can, even though they have less money, but then because of the petrol or the oil is very much lower cost, so therefore these things should be the food price should lower also. But then the demand is there, but then like airlines, maybe the tourism industry, they want maybe take a longer time to recover, because people has to have confidence to travel again. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. So, and manufacturing will also like recover quite means that slowly lah. So it's still there, but it can recover better than the speed of recovery will be better than tourism, travel, and also hotel industry.
Thank you, Dr. Chua. I can see one question for
Welcome.
Prof. Titik to explain a little bit more about browser blocker. Prof. Titik, you are mute.
Sorry. Okay, this is actually a browser blocker. Is actually a software. Either it can be purchased, or we can also find apa tu, freeware, a browser blocker, where it block browser of the computer to other directories in the computer, and also block the browser to the internet. So this one will avoid our student while they are answering, they want to refer to any notes from their laptop, or they want to get any information from the internet. So that's available.
I mean, each student must install in their laptop.
Yes. Student must install. And and then there's another one which is apa tu, what do you call it, online proctoring. We can block it, we can control actually.
I see. Okay, last question before we end our session. One final question. Okay, anybody, I mean, participant from Thailand, you would like to ask any question?
When do exam
Dr.
enter
Mai?
the order of
Actually, I don't have any much question, but I like to just congratulate the Malaysian section on this event, and I appreciate the first speaker as well. To just enlighten me about what's going on, in the past, and then during the COVID, and what we're going to do in the futures. Actually, during the COVID, I think we have so many examples, just like, she just, mentioned, and it's going to be great if maybe we can share between countries to countries, like, and then we can enhance the innovation and technologies. I mean, even though after the COVID, things might get back to normal, or we need to live in the new normal ways, but the technologies and the innovation is still there. So perhaps with that invention, we can help each other. So I propose to just have the next event, perhaps,
Yes.
like the collaborating
Sure.
webinar between two countries.
Yes, we can
Thank
have
you
another
so much.
webinar.
So, and I think we're going to survive. We will survive even after COVID. Because
Okay.
it's the human
Right.
ways,
Thank you,
of
Dr. Mai.
living.
So I guess if there is no more questions, I would like to thank all the speakers, Professor Noliza, Professor Titik Howard, and Dr. Chua for sharing your knowledge and also experience and also contribution for this webinar. I think it's very enlightening and very informative. And thank you to IEEE, PES, Women in Power and Women Engineering Malaysia for organizing this activity. And I hope everyone of us get some benefit. Either you're a researcher, or you're an educator, or you're just a consumer, okay, to take action on what we need to do to embrace the new normal after COVID-19. Right? Thank you very much. Can we take a group photo? If you can switch on your camera, please do so. Dr. Zuhaila maybe can snapshot.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened to my webcam. It's suddenly not functioning.
Dr. Chua, we will paste we paste your picture there later.
Oh, okay.
And
We can fix it.
I can help also as well. I can help.
this is also recorded, so I will send you the link once we get the record.
But everybody, you have to switch on your webcam, your video.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zohaina, and thank you very much, WIP, Women in Power Society, and WIE for inviting me and give me opportunity to talk here. Thank you very much from our friends from Thailand and Singapore. Yes, and wherever you are, I don't know. How do you see you from where and where? Thank you.
Okay, you can teacher?
They're not switched on their webcam yet. I think many.
Yeah.
Yeah, can everyone switch on your webcam?
Okay, I will.
The host cannot control, is it? Can the host control their webcam? Cannot.
No.
No, I don't think so.
It's just need to
Okay, I try to take picture now.
yes. Totally.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
we
you.
ready? All right. So thank you again. Thank you for those from Malaysia or outside Malaysia. Maybe we'll see each other again in the future webinar. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.